I want to share with you a strategy for getting out of pretty much any funk. And when I tell you this works, it works, because your girl has been through some funks. I've become a mom and I've dealt with pregnancy loss. I've dealt with death in my family. I've dealt with, coming back from vacation and you're like, oh, like I need to get oriented. Like I feel funky, right? Like there's so many different things in life where you feel down and you want to like regain momentum, and that can be really hard. So what I want to show you is how to actually just embrace it being hard, because I think that's what is wrong, is we want it to be easy to get back up when actually it's just hard and you get stronger because of that. And that's okay. You're not alone. I just want to show you what has worked in the system that I want to show you. I didn't start it until right around the time I learned how to sell. So it was really good timing where it just was like, phew, baby oil on a slip and slide, and it worked really fast. And maybe it will for you too. So I've been doing it a lot, as you can tell. Like this is just a few of the journals that I've stacked up by doing this method. And what I'm about to show you, you can do on your own, like blank page journal. It's not a big deal. We print these, but it don't matter. It's like something you could do starting now on a napkin. This is actually how it was born, was on a napkin. So anyway, I want to show you, there are 5 sections that are going to help keep you like really striving for that growth and momentum that you feel when things are really hard and you're disappointed in yourself, you're feeling funky, whatever. The first one is gratitude. Okay. Thankfulness is so important. And you know what's really neat about the concept of thankfulness is that it actually means relief. Isn't that interesting? Thankfulness, like a synonym for it in the dictionary, is relief. Meaning what? Like you enter into your day and you are stressed, you're anxious, you are frustrated. And like when your kid is sick, you're stressed. You're like, oh my God, like your heart's racing, like when's their fever gonna break, whatever. But as soon as it breaks, you're like, I'm relieved. I'm so thankful. Okay, so when you enter into your day like that, you're stressed, like what's gonna go wrong? This isn't working, da da da. Your moment to experience thankfulness, it just gives you relief. You're like, you know what? This is good. It's all good. And what that looks like is taking a little bit of inventory of what you have. Because if another metaphor, like if you're walking around your house being like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, and you're not even looking in the fridge or you're not looking in the pantry, that makes no sense. But as soon as you did, you would realize, okay, there is something I can eat. I feel relieved. I can relieve this feeling. So gratitude is very similar, where you take some inventory and you feel that sense of like, okay, it's not as bad as I think it is. In fact, I have so much on my side right now. I have my family's health. I have, maybe it's your coaches or your mentors, or like for me, I have here like God's kindness. I'm like, oh my gosh, God has shown me so much kindness. Like I have so much to be thankful for. What in the world? Okay. So you can be really, sitting in that moment of like relief before you start to work hard. Okay. So there's gratitude. The next section that will snap you out of it so fast is personal development. Okay. Some people call this self-help. A lot of times comes through like nonfiction books, but could also be like podcasts and things. And what's really important here is that you download what you're learning, because your mind, just like your body, like your physical health, is a result of what you eat and what you like do or don't do for physical activity. Your mind is a result of what you see and what you hear. And so when you are downloading into a personal development, like actively participating in your growth, and you put that here, you start to see, okay, this is where I'm still challenging myself. And I'll tell you, this is from 2018. This is when I started this, okay? The thing I was learning then is that you become what you think about most. That was from a book called Psychology of Winning that I'll talk about in another video because it's game changing. I think Macy actually has a video about that. But that reminder of like, okay, this is what I want my mind to focus on today. You become what you think about most. You become what you think about most. And that challenged me in that season to think about things that are good, that are positive, that are forward thinking. Right? There's no point in dwelling in things that are not helpful at all. Whether you feel like they're true or not helpful. Okay. So you become what you think about most. Now, that was learning. The next section is very cool. In fact, yeah, I'm going to talk about it now. So the next part is what we call our game day list. Other people call it like a power list or whatever. But what's important here is that they are things that if they didn't get done, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world. But it wouldn't be contributing to your growth. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it's not go to the dentist or get on that Zoom call. Like that's going to happen anyway because it's on your like meetings list, right? But what the game day list is for things that are easy to do and easy not to do. I want to tell you like a few things that are, if they become non-negotiables in your life, you will feel like a different person. One of those things is working out, moving your physical body, creating that hormone cascade that basically acts like antidepressants that put your mind into a positive, high, like energy status. People buy from high energy people. People want to be around high momentum people. Okay. So working out is so incredibly important for how you feel about yourself, for how others see you as someone who just is like vibrant and full of energy. Okay. Working out is so important. The next one is reading. Again, just like I talked about in the personal development, what goes in your ears and your eyes is how like your mental health is really going to be informed. Okay. Because you become what you think about most. So you see how what I read actually became what I was like really wanting to like dwell on and think about most. So hello, how this is like, it starts to circulate. Yeah. Another one that would be really helpful for you, but I would say this is a non-negotiable depending on where you're at in your business, is to make sure that you're selling every day. If you're in business, make sure you're putting out some sort of content that gets you in that selling momentum. It is so easy to get into a consumer, like I'm just at my computer, learning, and not putting out that content that shows value to someone else where they see like, wow, like she really knows her stuff. She really like shows up every day, because people want to buy from consistent people. They want to buy from on fire people, and selling not only shows that you're consistent, but also helps you be on fire, because selling makes you sold on yourself, girl. So sell every day. Another one, get ready. Holy moly. And getting ready is different for different days, for different people, for different industries, I guess you could say. We're sales girls. And so, I'm about to get on a client call and I am dressed like I'm at work. I love it. I just feel like fun and put together and lovely. And so on a Saturday with my kids, I might not wear this, but what I would wear is like an athleisure outfit with my hair up and probably some makeup. Because let me tell you, when I catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, girl, put on a little lip stain or something that, makes you look put together when you go to Target. That alone will help you see yourself in a really positive light. And I even wrote a note next to when I put get ready on my little list here. This quote is from the book that I had on my list. We project on the outside what we feel on the inside. And so whether it is right now a part of your philosophy to get ready every day or not, I really want you to think about getting ready as a way of like showing the world I value myself. And I know we live in a world that's like appearance doesn't matter. It actually does. It really does, because it's the split second impression that someone gets of you right away before they even have the chance to talk to you, before they get to hear your life story. They are going to say like, wow, they have a pep in their step. They look put together, and it just tells a whole story without even talking to you, which is really, really cool. And that can look like a lot of different things again, but just be thoughtful about how you put yourself together. Another life hack where I didn't do this every single day, but when it becomes a non-negotiable for you, the seasons where this happens is life-changing. The fifth thing is connecting with someone. And connecting with someone could be following up with a client, of course. It could also be sending a compliment, a piece of encouragement to someone in your life, whether it's your mom, your sister, a client, your boss, someone who works for you. Like that will give you energy almost equivalent to running a marathon, almost equivalent to looking the best you've ever looked in your entire life. There's something about giving someone else that love, where we live in a world where I think it's just our consumer world where it's like we want someone to compliment us. We want someone to encourage us. But professionals, and I'm saying professional, like people who really think about the world around them and how they can add value to them. Those people are the ones who are thinking, who can I encourage today? If you put like 5 people on your list and you just send 5 compliments back to back to different people, holy moly, good luck not smiling for the rest of the day, because you have no idea. Just the way that you feel like you need a compliment, someone else needs a compliment, and it will blow their mind. It will probably make them cry, and they'll probably be like, thank you, God, for answering that prayer, that I needed someone to tell that to me. It's amazing. Okay, the last not the last section, or almost our last section here. This is what I was doing at the time, and that is affirmations. Now, affirmation, the word just means to encourage. Isn't that cool? So to affirm someone, just like I said, compliment, like you can affirm someone else and who they are and who they're becoming. You can also do that for yourself. And what is really important here is that you really check yourself on how you're talking to yourself. So it's not about like, I'm amazing, I'm wonderful. It's not like that. It's telling yourself like, hey, you can freaking get through this day the best you possibly can. Something that I was telling myself is I am enthusiastic, because I knew that enthusiasm meant that I had a spirit where I was overflowing what I was learning. I was overflowing what I was learning. And it felt just really good to talk to myself like that. We can get so in that negative mental spiral of what we think about most is like, no one's listening to me, no one likes me, I suck. But if you just affirm to yourself some thoughts intentionally on paper that are good, it'll change your life. And I'm telling you what, this was the beginning of me actually being someone where people, I'll never forget, this was December 2018. This month was the first time I ever got tagged on Instagram. And I know you're probably like, what? Like that's like normal for everyone now. But at the time, someone tagged me for the very first time, and that tag said, you need to go follow Catherine. And I did not, I was like, what is that? What does that even mean? Like, what is happening right now? But what it meant was there's something in her that you need to see too. And it all starts here. You've got to see and affirm and encourage yourself, because you cannot rely on other people to do that for you. And we do that. I don't know why, but it's our consumer culture. So just talk to yourself in a way that's like, girl, you're going to rock it today. You just are. You're doing amazing. You're an amazing mom. You're doing the absolute best you can. Have a better conversation in your own mind, and you will really notice a difference. Okay. And you'll start to align your actions. If you're disappointed with how you've been acting, like you haven't been following through, you'll be surprised at the conversation you have with yourself, the emotions it generates in your spirit, how your actions actually start to follow. So all this works together really beautifully. And the last part is this win or lose, because the point of the game day list is that you do it all. There are things that no one else is keeping track of, but if you hold yourself accountable, you will start to see that you do follow through, that you are starting to have that compounding effect that's like, right? Like compounding interest in money. It's just like, it looks like nothing until it's everything. Okay. So winning and losing is you holding yourself accountable. And a lot of times people will say, well, you win or you learn. And I disagree. I really think that you do win or lose. And when you lose, that's a great time to learn. So losing is one of the best ways to learn, but it's not that you don't lose. Like you actually can lose doing your game day list, and that's fine. Just make sure that you learn from it and you don't have this negative spiral about it, but you either dominate your day because you did it, and that's awesome, or you lose and you learn that you need to readjust your expectations for what you can get done or whatever the case may be. But I hope this is helpful. It absolutely got me out of a poor mindset. It gets me out of a victim mindset. And I really think it'll help you build momentum where you become a different person. No lie. And if you do this for a week, if you do this in one day, your husband's probably gonna look at you and be like, who are you? You're like on top of stuff. You're like pep in your step, Missy. It's gonna be awesome. Imagine, like at the time that I started doing this, I was making like a few $100s a month in my sales commission. It's terrible. And now it's, exponentially grown, exponentially. And you know what that means? It means we sell like millions and millions and millions of dollars in our programs now, just because of who you become in the process of doing these daily things. Okay. So this practice is actually called daily deposit. And again, this was born like years and years and years ago. So you can do this on a napkin, you can do it in your journal, but I just encourage you to look into it because it will absolutely pull you out of any trenches you're in and put you on a path where you feel like you can run the race set before you. And I really believe that you were put on this earth for a purpose, and whatever you are going through does not need to stay that way. Okay. And you can be the example for someone else of what is possible when you march forward in faith, in confidence, and in hope. So I love you. I hope this is helpful. Drop in the comments if it was. And if you want to know more, we got a lot more coming about like what books we've read and what we do like for our physical bodies to just stay as sharp and as on fire as possible in our business. So I love you. Hope this is helpful. Mwah!